r/AskReddit. What is the creepiest thing that society accepts as a cultural norm? Paparazzi. It's such a creepy job to do. How was work today, honey? Oh, you know, the usual. Hid in some bushes and got some pictures of a Kardashian taking out their trash. Oh, good work, honey. Just eerie. I have secretly always hoped that celebrities would get their own cameras and make a magazine out of pictures of the paparazzi, and then everyone makes fun of how the paparazzi look, what they wear, etc. Edit. Let's throw in the celebrity writers and journalists too. Guess what? That snarky judgmental fashionista from the tabloid is actually a less than attractive person themselves. You should see Korean Sang fans. They punched someone in the face so they'd be remembered. Child beauty pageants. Honestly, I think this falls under the hypersexualization of little girls, something that is absolutely atrocious but accepted. Treating the naked human body like it's repulsive, disgusting. Seriously, how did this abhorrence towards our own bodies become so standard? I don't like how socially acceptable debt seems to be now. Reality TV. What's with the window stickers on the back of cars? Honoring people who've died? Why would you need to say hey, somebody I cared about died to the person behind you at the red light? I can't understand people's need to make their personal grief public this way. It's like driving around in a headstone. Creepy. Or, more accurately, pageants for parents, starring little girls. The only thing that separates you from a head-on collision on the road is a bit of paint in the center. The difference between a girl wearing a bra and panties in public and a swimsuit is that only one is socially acceptable. The fact that nudity itself is taboo seems weird to me. Sure, being naked all the time isn't plausible, but people freak out about nudity. It's just the human body. It's not that big a deal. Dressing up our dead to parade around to others. I'm sorry, I know closure is important, but it always reminds me of taxidermy, which I also find creepy. That if you take a candid picture of an attractive person it's creepy, but if you take a candid picture of a fat person it's hilarious and on peerplyoffwomen.com. I love it when someone on FB posts a status about how terrible bullying is and then posts a pic making fun of some poor soul who has 10 million strangers passing around their pic to make fun of them. Piercing infant girls' ears. What goes better with this diaper? Gold or silver? Green. Matches the color of alimony. I taught at a high school. Toward the end of my time there, when I was beginning to wear a little thin, I would wander into administrators' offices and rail against the system. I strolled into the female vice principal's office, sat down, and said, I have an idea. Pretend you've never heard it before. What if I said to you, let's handpick the 10 or 12 most attractive, mostly underage girls at our whole school. Let's dress them up in clothing that is so revealing it's a violation of our dress code for them to wear it. Then, let's teach them some salacious dance routines and have them gyrate in front of the entire community. Stuff like throwing them up in the air in their super short skirts. Any excuse to give everyone a good show, if you know what I'm saying. If we weren't already doing this, would you or would you not fire me for being a complete sicko? She laughed, shook her head, and said, oh, you, or something to that effect. This frustrated me a great deal, because I was serious. I don't get how we dress our kids up like this, exempt them from the rules, dress code, for example, and then try to turn around with a straight face and tell them that women shouldn't be treated as sex objects and superficial qualities shouldn't dictate who the rules apply to. No wonder we have so little credibility with so many of them. 10-year-old girls dressing like hookers. Alternatively, when hookers dress as 10-year-olds. Or 10 hookers who dress like 1-year-olds. In relation to the recent thread, apparently touching some stranger's baby bulge unannounced. Twilight moms. The fun part is that if you reverse it and have a bunch of 40-year-old men go to a theater to scream at shirtless underage girls, the SWAT team would be called. Cosmetic plastic surgery. There are some exceptions where it definitely benefits the person, like rhinoplasty to improve breathing, but I mean when it gets taken to an excessive level. Like Megan Fox. Why Megan? Why did you do this? Pooping in your own home. Animals must think we're idiots. Yeah, you should poop in someone else's home, like cats. Water, our most precious resource. Better poop in it. The fact that some girls call their man in bed daddy, like what the hell. Kancho in Japan. 1000 years of death. Location services on apps. Why does Angry Birds need to know where I live? Embalming the dead. I can just see the outsider now. So you mean, when you die, you drain all of their blood and replace it with some other fluid, and you do this so they look as close to alive as possible for a few additional days? I will mention it preserves things a few days so that everyone can attend the funeral. I attended a funeral, cremation, in another country, and basically I had to immediately fly there, and it was very expensive. I got off the plane, drove to the funeral home, saw the body, and within 15 minutes, cremation occurred. I think it was more abrupt and jarring to everyone that could attend. I kind of think seeing the body makes you realize why you are there. Statues of little boys peeing water out of a fountain. Yet when I want to hire real boys to do it for fancy dinner gatherings, they arrest me. Coaches slapping underage athletes on the ass. How else will I know that I've done a good job? Blood diamonds. People are enslaved to harvest rocks that people enjoy wearing on their finger. Factory farming. Their lives are hell and we simply disregard it. That we put locks on dumpsters to keep out the homeless and design park bus stop benches that are shaped so it's impossible to lay down and sleep on them. I think someday when far off in the future archaeologists see that shit they are going to be like, wow, those guys were dongs. TV shows like Hoarders. The fact that someone out there is making millions of dollars off of some poor person's mental sickness revolts me. In return for being on TV, the show hooks them up with free psychiatrist sessions and helps them cure their mental illness. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. Grinning. In almost every other mammalian species, showing teeth is a sign of aggression, and here we are accepting it as being nice and pretty. Facebook. Wiping after pooping with dry toilet paper. If a dog poops on a tile floor, we don't dry wipe it and call it clean. That's not sanitary. Why don't we have higher standards for our butts? Tanning beds. The news. It constantly shows negativity and tragedy or celebrities doing stupid shit, but never honest deeds or positivity, or at least rarely, and people like it, and gossip about it. Sick. People wonder why our world is so ducked up. It's not the devil, it's us. Lack of comprehensive sex education for young people. How the hell are they going to stop themselves from getting pregnant if they don't know about or can't access birth control, or are embarrassed to be seen buying condoms? It makes no sense. The news, especially the local news. Hey, let's tell you about all the death and tragedies in the city without giving you any actual information. Also reporting after shootings. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.